Hello again. I'm back in the dog room and it's a chilly spring morning and I'm just finishing off the laid work which I've worked in both directions, and I'm on one of 3 Christmas stockings. This morning I had a consultation with the 5-year-old grandchild, and she has decided that she wants rainbows now, or a rainbow. I don't think you can have 2 rainbows. And she was choosing the colours for her sister, who was busy hiding somewhere in a hide and seek game. So I don't know if they're going to agree on anything, these two, but never mind. So she decided that we were going to have some sparkly things. So I found a hairband, which is going to be rather useful. So little bits of buttons and sequins can be added. And I've made an executive decision in that these are beautiful threads anyway, and they're not really a stash. They're something I would have used for something, I'm sure, but I have had them for about 20 years, so I'm going to use them. And I'm going to use the silkier cotton threads on the mane and tail, because I think we could make it in a sort of tufty stitch. And I'm going to get back to my friend Meredith Willett, who wrote a book about turkey work, which is stitches that look like hair basically. So I think that could be quite a fun thing to do. So I'm going to stick with the wool and stick with threads I know, and I know how they behave, which is kind of quite valuable, because wool has a little bit of a bounce in it and a stretch, and I love that because it's very forgiving. I set up a frame really badly here and I'm using clamps, and I'm going to leave this in place, and I'm now going to make the couching over this piece. Now, unusually for me, I do allow a really long thread when I'm doing the laid and couch work, because you're not really going in and out of the linen very often. So take the thread, fold it over, just bounce it so that you get a nice straight, this is difficult to film, isn't it, Richard? Never mind, we'll get better at this, honestly. And take your needle and just push the wool through the hole like that. So just to cast on, I'm going to cast on, and I'm going to actually work a central section, because it's much easier to find your line in the middle of an area rather than at the edge. So I'm just going to cast on in the cloud, which might turn into a rainbow at any moment. I don't know about this rainbow. I think perhaps the rainbow needs to be lower down instead of a leaf. Maybe that's more fun for a child. So, okay, so we have the thread, and we can now take the thread up through the linen and just pop it over this intersection between these two pieces of blue. Now, in the books, they tell you to couch, 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 going up and down lines of thread. But in the past, the professionals never did that. They actually went up and down a line, going up and down over these little sections here. So I'm actually going to lay a piece of paper, or you could use a ruler, whatever you like, any straight edge, and just take your needle up and down, following that line. You can draw this on if you really want to, but you don't need to, and it doesn't need to be neat. Now the thread's just taking a little bit to settle down, and I haven't put this on actually tight enough onto this frame. Ideally it would be a little bit tighter, and I could actually go over again and again, lacing the edges to the side. And you can use string, you can use double thread, you could even use wool actually, and just keep going over and over till it's strong. And you can see I've just done a sort of zigzaggy stitch, but anything will do. Some people use clamps to do this, to keep it tight. But as I'm not stitching this tight, I'm keeping a very slack tension on everything, and I'm not fighting the tension on it. So all you could do is go up and down these lines. I really don't like working with a long thread, but I'm not that keen on rethreading either. And this does not need to be neat.